I'm back. We're breaking down Screwtape 5. Roll it. Ow. Hey guys, another video from Thaddeus HQ. I'm Andrew.
I'm Gabriel.
I'm JP.
And we're here to break down Screwtape 5. It would probably help if the audio was working.
Wait.
Pen right in.
You're in a cage, you're afraid you can't get out because you're in my maze. What is your age? 15, and they say it's just a phase. And it fills you with so much rage. Bet your wrist will love my blade. I've got the key to your cage. Guess what, Cody? You're my slave!
Yep.
So in the fourth song, the Angels kicked out Screwtape, you know, at the end of it, the last lyrics of the song. So
This
why
song right here?
are...
Right here? This one?
So then how did the demons get back?
So what we wanted to hit on was pretty much doorways, right? The idea of like when you open up this spiritual communication with them in different ways, they will come in and attack you, right? And this one pretty much because it's, you know, however many months later, and it's literally like one of the very first times we go, bet your wrists would love my blade, right? Which we actually were, JP and I were talking about, like, do we actually want to put it in because it was such a dark lyric, but then we thought it would connect with so many teens who go through that stuff. Kind of what we wanted to show them was like, yeah, like you might not be thinking like, oh, I'm like having a, you know, full-blown conversation with them, but when you're doing stuff that's like destructive, like, you know, cutting and other, you know, things, it opens up doorways for these things come back in. And so basically how he came back was through that entryway, was basically through the
So it was because he was, you know, hurting himself. That's when Gootrank's lies.
Gootrank's got back in, he started, and then pretty much he started, you know, listening to Gootrank's lies and almost like in a sense communicating with Gootrank, and that's when Screwtape comes back in, which we actually hit in a later.
So then the highlight is then that Cody has control over that gateway. You know, it's like Gootrank can't just come in whenever he wants.
No, he has complete control. It's like it's up to him. It's like he can close off that doorway, not communicate with them. You know, not you do these destructive things, but Cody keeps doing it, and so they keep coming back.
I see. And the whole concept of spiritual warfare, it's usually not over just a short period of time. Warfare, it like happens over and over, just constant battles.
It's your entire life.
So it's kind of that point that demons, they're always going to keep trying to come back and get you. So it's just that constant struggle to resist them and just strengthen yourself with prayer and all that.
Key to your cage. Guess what, Cody? You're my slave.
Shackled, engaged. Don't you hear me calling your name? Don't you feel me inside of your brain? Don't you feel your head exploding with pain?
So okay, there was a lot that we broke down from there. First off, I had to learn a tutorial for the first time. It was actually pretty cool, but to do the graphics on Screwtape's eyes was something different we've never done before.
We gotta freeze frame it right there.
So this is the first time you see Screwtape, and we wanted to give a feel that this is supernatural to show that Screwtape isn't your friend.
Yeah.
He doesn't look friendly. You don't want to have anything to do with this guy. Yeah. And so to bring that out to the eyes is what you're saying. Yeah, exactly.
Sorry, JP. Like you were in character, that was great. Yeah, but also to our knowledge, this was the first time a visual of Screwtape was actually.
I don't think anyone has ever acted out Screwtape.
Yeah.
Not that I'm aware of.
Not that I'm aware of. So
Visually.
If there is, let us know, because
I'd like to see what else other people did.
Yeah, we wanted to hit. We thought it did. I love that shot of us eating.
So what was the idea with that shot with at the table, you know, eating breakfast?
You want to take this one?
Yeah, I think that was pretty much like, I mean, Cody's just there at breakfast, normal day, normal morning, and it's just kind of showing Gootrank being there with him, and it's kind of just showing like demons, doesn't matter what you're doing, where you're at,
they're always like attacking you.
Yeah. So we wanted to resonate with kids like kind of going through depression and going through that feeling that they can't get out. It's like Gootrank is there just looking at him, he's mimicking him, he's always there with him, and it kind of gives that eerie feeling that you can't get out of it.
Hence the shackled and caged.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, it was pretty much to like hit the fact of like for these kids suffering from depression, it literally from the moment they wake up to the moment they go to sleep, they're getting just hammered over and over and over, and so that's what we were trying to hit with that as well.
I see. No, that's a good depiction because it's like Cody throughout his day. I mean, look him in this shot here. He looks like sad, and like he's in pain. And then there's Screwtape over his shoulder, speaking to him, and it's like he's listening to those voices. So no, that's interesting. It was really well done.
Engaged. Don't you hear me calling your name? Don't you feel me inside of your brain? Don't you feel your head exploding with pain? Shackled, engaged. Don't you realize that you can't explain the pain you contain that remains with disdain that you have obtained from my domain?
Going insane here, let me explain. You're so weak inside and you only wanna die. Say it, pull the squares, Cody, go ahead and say goodbye. By and by, you wanna die.
Man.
So snarky, dude.
Yeah, what a punk. I hate Gootrek, man. I do his voice, and I hate him. I can't
But it's
stand
not
it.
supposed to be pleasant.
Pleasant.
Well, I was gonna say like the lyrics, like what's Screwtape saying there over his shoulder. Can't obtain from my domain. So it's almost like he's imprisoned, is what it seems like.
Yeah, the lyrics are.
Don't you realize you can't explain the pain you contain that remains with the stain that you have obtained from my domain?
It's a bar.
Yeah, the whole thing is basically like a giant taunt and slamming Cody. Again, it's kind of like the the running theme.
Yeah.
So it's basically like you feel all this pain inside and you can't explain it. You have no idea where it is and you hate it, but you can't get rid of it. The whole idea of shackled and cage. It's like he has all this anger because that's kind of how the demons are going, like attacking him. It's like through his anger, then leads to the depression, everything.
Yeah.
And it's just this giant taunt of you can't escape me. Even though literally in the fourth one. He literally escaped him,
Like
you know what I mean?
came
So it's like,
out.
it's just another, like, kind of through that whole thing, there's like multiple of these like lies that we like basically have the demon say throughout the entire thing from like song 1 to now, where it's just constant lies, and we kind of like hit that multiple times.
Okay, you break it down like this. It's like Satan's the father of lies. So all the demons, the
Old
only
red
reason
legs.
they're holding on to this is through lies. So he's lying to Cody that he can't escape him. He gets kicked out by the angels, literally gets his butt handed to him. And kicked out in the fourth one. Now he comes back in the fifth one, and he's lying, saying you can't get rid of him just again. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like it's always lies. They can't even tell the truth on it. So it makes sense. That was a bar.
It's a bar.
That was good.
Yep.
Die. Say it, pull the squares, Cody, go ahead and say goodbye. By and by, you'll wanna die. By the by, you're gonna die. Your parents have no alibi. They're sitting
I love that
testify the
shot.
fact
Yeah,
that you
that's
wanna
cool.
die. They'll be screaming, God, why? Call themselves Christians, but they don't take the crucified. In your coffin,
yeah,
you
dude.
alive. Black suit, black pants, black tie,
Cody's
say goodnight.
acting was on point.
Yeah, it was. He
acting
did that
was
so
on-
well.
Yeah.
That was a cool shot.
Well done, Gootrek, you've got me in. Gonna make this filthy human drenched in sin. Let's not forget the battle within. How he made me leave, making me look naive. Satan's head he cleaved, cause with faith he believed. And his grace he receives. Zechariah decreed the word of the man that
By
was
the way,
nailed to a
that
tree.
hit really hurt. I got his black eye for a week.
Yeah, I
You got in
filmed
the
it.
way.
I
What?
watched it. Okay, yeah. So you want to break this down, JP?
Yeah.
So what's going on here?
All right, so it's pretty much just one big power trip with Screwtape and Gootrek. So Screwtape, he's so self-obsessed, he has so much hate, he pretty much is like super annoyed that Cody has this little glimmer of hope, and he's pretty much taking out all of his anger on Gootrek. And now, if we could go to that one frame.
Right there.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah,
you won't
right
be
there.
able to
It
pause
was
it.
right there.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
so is Gootrek lunging for Screwtape's throat? Pretty much like he's imagining, like he just wishes he could kill Screwtape because he hates him as well. There's just so much hatred going on.
Yeah, exactly. So like what we wanted to show is pretty much the demons literally hate Cody, but they also hate each other. Like that whole every part of hell, none of them like each other. Yeah.
The scum tried to knife me! Kill him!
They hate Satan, Satan hates them. Gootrek hates Screwtape, Screwtape hates Gootrek, and Screwtape, is taken out on Gootrek because he's a lower demon. You know what I mean? So we wanted to kind of instill that, like, yeah, they're like on the same team in a sense, but they literally hate each other. You know what I mean? So
Yeah. So it's not, it's all like fear based. So
Yeah.
Gootrenk's only doing this because Screwtape is gonna beat him if he does. I mean, he hits him.
yeah.
So
And
okay.
in that first line, well done, Gootrek, you've got me in. We're kind of tying back to that doorway of cutting.
Yeah.
Like he manipulated Cody into cutting again, so that was the doorway, and Screwtape is almost congratulating Gootrank. So it's just a lot of confusion and a lot of hatred.
Yeah. Well, honestly, what I noticed actually, even just now, like thinking about it here, is you guys keep going into how Cody has these anger issues, right? Well, it seems to be coming a lot from Screwtape almost directly because, I mean, look how angry this guy is.
Yeah, so what we were doing is how we kind of wanted it was pretty much what you actually hit it right on. It's basically Screwtape is a spirit of anger, right? That's like the demon, that's like his thing, right? Anger.
Okay.
And then Gootrank is a spirit of suicide. And so basically it's like Screwtape, because Screwtape beats, he's like the main one, right, with Cody. And then Gootrank's a lower demon. So it's like, Screwtape fills him with hatred, fills him with anger, and then Gootrank follows and uses that anger to make him suicidal.
Oh, I see. So that's when they're tag teaming him.
Yeah. So that whole bar, right, the whole...
Let's not forget the battle within, how he made me leave, make me look naive, saying it's heady cleave because his faith he believes that correct.
That whole line.
Yeah.
So the reason I like that line so much is because it's like this whole time he's basically saying, you're shackled in cage, you can't escape, this is all your fault, blah, all this bunch of bull. And this is like the first time when it's like, because we haven't done this since I think it was the second song, right? Where we basically, it's like just the demons talking to each other, right?
Yeah.
And so we wanted to do that again and kind of show like what's actually happening here. And between them, they both know it's like, no, literally from the fourth song, they were kicked out. You can completely, with help, with the angel stuff, literally get rid of them in a second.
Yeah.
And it's like the first time you see them actually talking about literally the truth, but it's only to each other, and then all the lies to Cody. So I thought that was a really cool bar.
Yeah. No, that's cool.
Yeah.
Huh. Well, and I think this is interesting too, is that the demons know the truth. Like you said right at the line there, the word of the man that was nailed to a tree.
Exactly.
Like you're talking about Jesus here.
What's really cool about that is because, with the whole like crucifixion part, it was basically Jesus shackled and caged to a cross, and that's when everyone thought, death had won and everything. So it's like basically that whole, like the word of the man that was nailed to a tree, who was shackled and caged. It's like, yeah, they thought he was shackled and caged as well, and he still basically destroyed death and won. So it's like kind of like a symmetry of like Cody, even though they're saying you're shackled and caged, he literally can, conquer it, which I thought was sick.
It's a bar.
What you bound right here will be bound down there. No sins can be loose, no priest can refute. That confession is worthless, there is no excuse. Prayers can prepare for your father's abuse. There is no escape, your neck will love my noose.
Dad beat you, Mom hate you.
All right, so that first part where Screwtape says, what you bound right here will be bound down there, it's a huge smack in the face to Matthew 16:19.
Ooh! That's a controversial one right there.
Where the verse is, what you bound on earth shall be bound in heaven, and what you loose on earth shall be loosed in heaven. They're pretty much slamming confession, priests, scripture. They're terrified of these things, so that's why they're trying to slam it and get it in Cody's head. So he's also kind of gets a resentment for those things as well.
So I noticed that they keep targeting confession and the priest, especially, you know, from the very first song. But actually, even in the fourth song, a big thing that brought up was his dad. So why are they targeting Cody's dad in this whole thing?
Yeah, so that one we thought was really important to hit because it's literally actually even in the fourth one that the angels say they target your dad because they fear his position, right? The authority of a father over a child is huge spiritually. Like that dad has full authority over him. He can actually do to protect the son and also get them away from his son on a spiritual level is very powerful, and they actually have to listen to it, right? There's a certain sense of authority of a father and a son. So we wanted to show how much they actually feared, if you're reading between the lines, because they keep hammering like, oh, he's this, he beats you, he's pointless, he can't do anything, right? It's like, why? Because they literally are terrified of the guy. Yeah. And then another thing, what I loved about that shot, where he's looking at the drink and he's like drinking it and stuff, and the whole line when he's saying it is, prayer can't be prayer. The whole line that he's saying is prayer can't prepare for your father's abuse, right? And he's like looking at this drink. And so what we wanted to show like visually is like he's literally once again taunting Cody because why? His dad is an alcoholic and he beats Cody, and so there's Screwtape drinking it while mocking him and stuff. But then what we also wanted to do, which I thought was really cool, was we've never just straight out said it, but we've hinted towards it, is so his dad has anger problems, right? 'Cause he's an alcoholic, right? And with this shot, I want to show like where does his dad get that from? Like why is his dad so much like that? And it's because Screwtape is a demon who attacks him. So it's like Screwtape got in with his dad and basically is breaking his dad, and now since his dad has the authority and he's letting all that in, Screwtape's then going after his kid.
So you're really hitting home at like where if as a
Doorways.
parent, another doorway. As a parent, since you have authority over your kid, and these demons are going to be attacking you in those ways, why wouldn't they be attacking your kid?
Exactly. You're the first line of defense as the parents, and so we want to show like it doesn't just affect you; it affects your kids on a spiritual level.
It affects your whole family. Yeah. Especially being the dad, the leader of the family.
Yeah.
That's all, folks.
Beat you, mom, hate you, friends resent you, God has left you, siblings non-existent because you're an only child.
Your soul is black, it has been defiled. Everything you do makes my father smile. He's made it so for you, he's been waiting a while. 4 more hours left to live, but you're gonna jump in style.
Assistant Cody, you're a little hostile.
Should've left the phone alone, but you had to redial.
Step by step towards the edge, walk right over to the ledge. On a bridge, all alone, about to see my father's home.
All right, so here's the one of the big questions I've been holding off for a minute. All right, is why this beat? I don't like all the beats that you picked.
Yeah.
Why this
Paul, why is this beat?
So I found this beat, and I was in my car. Gabe and I were driving somewhere. I'm like, dude, check out this beat, because we were just thinking about new beats for new songs. And I was like, there's no way we'd use this one. It's just super aggressive, but I like the sound of it. We can't rap to it. And I showed it to him, and I could just see in his eyes. I saw the gears turning. And sure enough, he made a way for this beat to work into a rap song and made the lyrics work with the beat. And just the beat, like the heavy bass, the repetitiveness, you can kind of get that idea of Screwtape and Screwtape kind of repeating and hammering ideas into Cody's head. Yeah. And just that constant repetition.
Yeah, we basically what we wanted to do when he showed me the beat, because like those 808s, they hit. Like they hit. But why I loved it so much is because we do, with the lyrics we go so in depth with them, and then we're doing visuals too, which was like a whole nother level, which was really cool. And then I was like, well, what if we also have the beat mimic, like, so the visuals are showing how they attack, the lyrics are showing how they attack. Why not have the beat also show how they attack? So the whole beat, because it's that huge bass hit, right? A little bit later, then another huge bass hit. So we wanted to make it feel like, like a giant hammer just hitting you over and over and over, because with Cody, that's how it literally feels. It doesn't stop. It never is lighter. It's never like this little hit. It's like this heavy, repeated attack of them just beating him down till he eventually, breaks and, goes through with it.
Yeah.
And so we wanted the beat to basically show that, which I thought it did. It was
That's
such
a good
beat.
touch. The sick. Okay, I like it. It's cool.
On a bridge, all alone, about to see my father's home. Alone by myself with my hope on the shelf, I get it, I understand. Getting cast aside at that first hand, hot burnt by anger with a red hot branch, or a ravenous beast, but I buried in the sand from my dad. Wasn't planned. Don't tell me that I misunderstand. Where was God when I was beat? Where was God? I'm in despair. Oh, that's right, he would leave. Oh, that's right, he didn't care.
Look at
when
his
my
face.
basement dug concrete, when dad was screaming, mom was shriek, I did his beat. Cody, Cody, why are you always in the way? Cody, Cody, why do you always disobey? Cody, Cody, don't you ever use that tone with me. Cody, Cody, you amount to nothing, I guarantee.
Yeah.
You break it down, JP. Break that down.
All right. So yeah, you can definitely hear the second song. It's the same exact beat, almost the same exact lyrics, but it's from Cody's perspective almost. So like all those lies that they were feeding him in the second song, it's almost like Cody's interpretation of it. Cody thinks he recognizes the truth in what they're saying, and so he starts to kind of spit it back out, but it's all perverted truths.
So then right at the end of it, he's believing all these lies, but why is you hear Screwtape's
I love that
mouthing it
part.
with him,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
why is Screwtape the only one who says the ending of the line?
So yeah, Screwtape pretty much giving him all these thoughts in his ear, it kind of lets Cody believe that the thoughts are coming from him, but they're actually coming all from Screwtape, and so that's why he's
that's
kind
why
of
his
cutting
voice
in.
comes through at the end.
Exactly.
That's interesting.
Cody, Cody, why do you always disobey? Cody, Cody, don't you ever use that tone with me. Cody, Cody, you amount to nothing, I guarantee.
Your parents' words, were they wrong? Your prayers have ceased, you had no chance all along. What about the priest? Guess you forgot, you thought he was strong, but he was not. Father Paul's school of thought, guess he didn't break that knock. Who drank, remind him of what he's been taught.
Here I am, back again. Don't you know I always win? It's cause I'm buried deep within. I'm melded to you like a twin. Don't you know it's cause of you that I have permission? I've listened position with no opposition. You sent up a mission, now you're mine.
Oh gosh.
Creepy, bro. bro. He's out.
He's out of here.
So that one line that Screwtape says, Father Paul's school of thought, guess he didn't break that knot. That's a reference to the third song. Zeke says, quit aiming for his heart, I'll cut the Gordian knot.
Yes.
So,
Gabe, please explain what.
right.
The
Well, if
Gordian
there's
knot
any
is.
like history buffs out there, and I get this slightly wrong, sue JP. No. So what we wanted to do, because a lot of we like intricate lyrics, and so with this lyric, basically the Gordian knot, it's a reference to Alexander the Great, history of time, and pretty much what this knot was a legendary knot, and it was basically impossible. No one could undo it. It was like no one. It was an impossible knot to that could be undone. And so there's two different stories, right? First story is that Alexander the Great, pretty much to go there, and it was like he took out some pin, looked under it, and like somehow actually figured it out, which I was just like, that's lame.
Lame, 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 lame!
The one I really liked was pretty much there was this untieable knot, right? And whoever untied it was like, some legendary whatever. And so pretty much he walked up to it, and instead of trying to figure out how to untie it, he literally just took out his sword and just cut the knot. It was like, there, I untied it.
What are we waiting for?
Just hacked it, and it was like this unbreakable knot, and it just boom, like that, right? And so the whole bar from the third one was, Zeke, he's like, Cody thinks that this whole suicide thing, it's like, it's impossible. It's this knot that can't be undone. It's so dark, it's so bad, it's so horrible, he can't get out of it, right? It's this Gordian knot, and Zeke's just is saying, I'll cut it. I'm going to literally take that untiable thing, and basically what Alexander the Great did, whack, and it's done. They're trying to take that, because that's literally what they did in the fourth one, and then when the priest, pretty much has confession, he cuts that knot, that's how the angels got him to cut it, was through the priest with confession. Is pretty much them another lie. Guess he didn't break that knot. Guess he didn't cut it. So not only are the angels lying to you, but the priest is lying to you, and none of that actually works. Yeah. So that was what the whole line was.
it's a bar.
Engaged. Come on now, we're superstition.
This is you, you're a petition.
Psychological disorder and lack of discipline.
Put you here, no more time for contrition. My competition.
They have conceded medication's what's needed. It's a chemical imbalance, so quit your suspicion. Should have seen a clinician diagnose the condition. Every logician knows your face is cognition. Time to see the mortician.
Nasty shot. I love that
The
shot.
whole sequence was great. It
yeah.
was like they were, I don't know, you hand him this, take the vial, this, that. They're just like,
I like that interrogation. Oh, we're not keeping that. There was a voice crack. I like that whole scene. Was like it's like an interrogation scene almost. Earlier, Screwtape's just like sitting there looking at him, and then later on, like he's kind of just pacing in front of him, just that intimidation factor. So with the lyrics, the first part, come on now, we're superstition. This is pretty much the secular versus religious perspective on the whole thing. The secular perspective is this is all just in your head. There's no spiritual world out there. So pretty much everything that led you to this point, it's all physical. It's all in your head. There's nothing spiritual to it.
So the other part I really loved, which it was definitely, it could sound like a very controversial line. Medication's what's needed. It's a chemical imbalance, so quit your suspicion, right? So with this line, we want to put it in because, they're basically what the demons are saying is, there's no spiritual side to this. There's nothing. All it is strictly, a chemical imbalance in your head. And what we want to show is like, no, it's not just a chemical imbalance in your head. There is a huge spiritual factor. It's both. It's like there's a spiritual factor and there's a physical factor. So it's more, what we're trying to say is like it's a combination of attacking this depression from both angles, not just like one and not just the other. It's both. Because clearly it is a huge spiritual attack. Especially in Cody's case, it's like a major spiritual attack. And so that's why we wanted to put that line in there, is because it's like they're trying to say it's only this, when it's like, no, it's not. The spiritual realm is very, very, very much real. So
Yeah. And so that last line, every logician knows your faith's just cognition. Time to see the mortician. So they're feeding him this lie that everyone who has a brain, everyone who uses logic and reason, that there is no spiritual side to this. This is all in your head. There's nothing more than that. It's just cognition. It's just in your head. And then time to see the mortician. That's it. You die and that's it.
Yep.
self-explanatory.
Which I love with the camera shot we do, where it's like you basically are in from the viewpoint of someone in a body bag, where it's just like time to see the mortician. I love that, where it's just like it's over, your life is done.
Position, it's just a mission that is paid your admission. Where your angel at, Cody? Where you think he is? Yeah, you're fighting by yourself, Cody. Fully don't exist. If you jump, you won't be missed. You're not alone. I'm a list straight faded, debating, soon you won't be able to resist. Just look down, don't look up. Can't do it anymore, just wanna jump. Water below, aim for the ground. Gotta jump.
Jeez, I
I love his
chills.
Yeah,
Look at his facial expressions. I love it. Like that.
You're so exhausted of being mad. What better way to get back at my dad?
Shackled, encaged.
Okay, that line
Yeah.
right there.
He killed it, man.
Yeah.
He killed that line.
That just like hits because it's like he's angry at his dad, obviously, you know, and it's like, well, what's gonna answer it is to get back at him. Like that's so twisted.
Yeah.
And he believes that, like that. It gives me chills.
Yeah. Just like a little, I guess, behind the scenes when we were doing that in the studio. So, you know, Cody was, you know, he's rapping this, and he was like having trouble with that line. He's like, how, like, because we didn't know exactly how he wanted to deliver it. You know, was it gonna be like, time to get back on my dad? You know what I mean? Like, we weren't really sure. And I was just like, I don't know, just like feel the music, go with it, and like get that emotion, and like just deliver something. Like, and let me just hear different things. And so he's doing these different takes. I'm like, no, not there, you're not there yet. And he's going, he just does that. You know, he just freaking just rips it out. And I was just like, me and JP just looked at each other. We're just like,
That's it. That's good. That's it. We're good. He was just like,
Was that good?
we're just like,
yeah, that was good.
like, oh, it was great. I loved it.
Black, dark as the night. Marked by the fact that you can't reach the light. These chains are not light. You want freedom, take flight.
You're alone, little boy, disowned, little boy. Put your hood up and drown out the noise. Earbuds in, cause your life's been destroyed. Begging me, begging, I just wanna make it end. Here's the answer that my father recommends. Jump off the bridge, quit trying to pretend that everything's fine because everything's not. You're trapped in your chains and you built up to rot. You're forcing yourself every link you have wrought. Don't you realize that you built your cage? Strengthened every bar with depression and...
Okay, hang on. There's
Yeah,
a
man,
lot
yeah.
going on.
What did you
We're
think
gonna
of the
have to back
headphones
up.
line?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna tag.
I
on.
felt you. So remember you told me about that.
yeah,
like,
so-
kind of say from your point of view, because I liked it.
Okay, you see every day, you know, nowadays everyone, everywhere, you got AirPods, right? Now you can have earbuds in, listen to music, listen to whatever you want without anyone even knowing. What hits me is what Satan wants to do is he wants us to be split up. He wants us to not be able to communicate. He doesn't want us to talk to each other. So this lie that they're pushing over on Cody is, yeah, that's right. Put your hood up, drown out the noise. You don't want anyone else. You're alone. Your only friends are us. And it's such that gripping, like shackled and caged, right? He's caged in that, and you see that everywhere nowadays. And it's really just sad because it comes very secluded, and that's when, I guess, not all the time, but it can be dangerous because then what voices are being fed to you would be Screwtape and Screwtape. I don't know. You know, that's kind of what hits me when I watch that. But what was your guys' intent when you wrote that?
Yeah, well, it was a little bit different. I mean, because, everyone, I walk around with headphones on, hood up. Sometimes you walk around. Like, it kind of all depends, right? But what you're getting at, is true. It's like when you get in that stage of, like, every day where you're just shutting everything out because you literally hate the world every single day. It's not just like, oh, I'm going to go to the gym and hype myself up, put earbuds in, whatever.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
like, no,
I'm
when
not
you're
talking about that.
when
Yeah.
you're going every single day, like, I literally hate everyone and everything, and I don't even want to hear anything. They're gonna have a field day with that. From my experience, so many guys are so angry, and it's like, they feel like no one gets them, they feel like no one understands them, and the only thing they relate to is that music and putting their head up and being angry. And so that whole bar, I thought would resonate with a lot. Obviously it's going to resonate with a lot of girls too, but like, I thought it would resonate from my point of view. It's like I was targeting young guys with that, because I don't know, I feel like it's just something so many of us guys have done, and it's so relatable to it, and it's showing like you got to be careful with how you're every day with what you're doing.
Cause your life's been destroyed. Begging me, begging, I just wanna make it end. Here's the answer that my father recommends. Jump off the bridge, quit trying to pretend that everything's fine because everything's not. You're trapped in your chains and you built up to rot. You're forcing yourself every link you have wrought. Don't you realize that you built your cage? Strengthened every bar with depression and rage. Your miserable life has led you to this moment. Your
Like,
parents are the enemy.
Kind of pause
that's
that
the
real quick.
opponent.
What an idiot. Like, I don't know. It's like when you watch it, and I know it's like it's me acting it out, but it's like you watch it and it's just like they're just beating this kid over and over. Where he's at physically, he's on that bridge looking, and then it's like this is what is going on in his head. You know what I mean? So it's like in his head he's just curled up and he's just rocking back and forth, hating it. But on the outside it's just that stone cold face where he's just staring, where it's just like you can't even tell, and he's just like looking. It's like, I don't know, I loved visually how we did that because so many of these people who struggle, they don't show it. You wouldn't even guess it. You know, it's like you
Yeah.
think like, oh yeah, they're totally fine. It's just like this is actually what's going on in their head. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
This is why it hits so much harder than just the lyric videos.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, because you can put a face to it, and
Yeah.
you can see what's going on. Yeah.
You're trapped in your chains and you build up to rot. You're forcing yourself every link you have wrought. Don't you realize that you built your cage? Strengthen every bar with depression and rage. Your miserable life has led you to this moment. Your parents are the enemy, your dad's the opponent. Everything you've done, there is no atonement. Time to get back to them, it's time to give up. Make them feel the pain you felt. 3, 2, 1, jump.
Yeah, pause it real quick. So this was actually really tricky on if we wanted to go this far with it, and we talked I don't know hours about this.
Yeah.
What we kind of came to and what we all kind of agreed on was like we wanted something to actually hit people, and we wanted to actually where they feel like whoa, where like it actually hits them. We wanted to basically bring Cody to such a low and such a dark where it literally looks like, I mean, he attempted it, he tried, and I mean, obviously you've heard the song before, you know, in the end his heart starts beating again.
Yeah.
But it's like what we wanted to do is even from a moment where you actually attempted suicide, there is still light, and you can still get out of it, and you can still overcome it. Even from this moment, you can conquer this, and that's why we decided like we're going all the way with it, which I loved it.
And I think there's been a lot of stuff just in our teenage life and us growing up. There's been a lot of stuff that's been filtered and watered down and just kind of protected, and like no one kind of dives into a lot of these topics. And so that's kind of why we wanted to. That's why we were debating putting this in there, but we wanted to just to kind of. I think this will relate to teens a lot more than if we kind of just left it open-ended.
Yeah, no, exactly. I mean, it might be looked at as like dark or too far, but like you said, like it's been watered down. Why not bring light to it? I mean, it happens.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it happens every single day, and like especially now, like I mean, it's skyrocketing now, and so it's like, I mean, you remember growing up, like you hated when stuff was just like watered down and like soft and easy, and it was just like and especially when you're a teenager and you're going through something, it's just like that's so fake, and like you guys don't get it type of thing. It's like we're hitting those themes that like other people won't want to talk about. You know what I mean? I mean, that's what we do at the ADS, you know, so.
Yep. I mean, we're real about it, you know?
911, what's your emergency?
I love the instruments too. I love the
I mean, it's like right in your heart. You feel it.
Cody.
Yeah. Pause that.
I've heard this song countless times, and I still get chills every time you hear just those choirs by itself, and then you hear the heartbeat going. I love chills.
The whole scene where it's us watching it, we can picture exactly what's happening with just the audio of it, and that's where honestly I feel it really hits.
Yeah. Well, we actually got this feedback from someone who watched it. We had no idea who the person was, but what he was saying, he was like he loved how it went black, because it was like each person, you know, almost every person has that own story that they can go to in their head, you know what I mean, or like either someone who they know committed suicide or something, you know, like that happened. And when it's out any visuals, it's like each person's able to go into their own mind and like delve into that story and feel that and go to that moment, and that song becomes their song, you know what I mean? And he loved that.
Well, the way he put it, he said if it wasn't black, like there's no other way you can make it even better than how it was. Like it was great.
Yeah.
It was well done.
We wanted to show like, no, the angels were with him the whole time. Like all he had to do was ask, and it's like, and he didn't ask, and he should be dead, and he's not. Because why? Because Zeke was there. You know what I mean? So it's like this whole thing where it's just like, it wasn't like he was alone and abandoned the angels are there every step of the way.
Yeah.
You know, it's like Zeke's his guardian angel, and he was there that whole time, just waiting for Cody to ask him.
No, that's a great question. Honestly, like coming up now is like through this whole song, or you know, half of the other song of number 4, where it's just the Screwtape and Screwtape going at Cody left and right, and like even hitting him. He's up in his head on that bridge during that whole video. Like, where's his guardian angel? Like
Yeah,
through the whole
exactly.
thing. And it says it right there. Right at the end is he was there the whole time, and he still got him, Cody, and he says it.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah. All right. So to wrap it all up, guys. I mean, so I guess one thing, leave in the comments if you like this style video. This is something different than we've done before. We also have the new set.
Yeah.
Didn't
Oh
even
yeah.
say
We
anything
built
about
the
it.
set. What do you guys think?
A lot better than how we did them before.
We have pictures we should show.
Oh, we should, honestly.
It's so bad.
Well, no, to wrap it up, though, please leave in the comments if you like this style video. Do you want us to go into more of the lyrics? We were thinking an idea of possibly doing a podcast to actually break down every single lyric instead of just the whole video in general. But as always, thank you guys for watching. Please like, subscribe, and leave a comment.
And share.
The 6th song will be coming.
Oh.
You got
It's
it.
coming.
We'll see you guys next time.